Every year, more than 4,000 bank robberies are reported across the United States. Most are quick, in and out, a masked figure, a getaway car, maybe a note passed to a teller. But what went down in Blue Island, Chicago, didn't follow the usual script. This wasn't just a crime about stolen cash, it was a strike in broad daylight that shattered the illusion of safety. It ended with chaos, fear, and a neighborhood left staring at flashing lights, wondering how it all happened so fast. But why did they choose this bank? Who planned it? And how did they vanish so fast? Watch till the end, because this story hits harder than you think. May 2nd, 2025. It was a quiet Thursday in Blue Island, just outside Chicago. The U.S. Bank branch at 11960 Southwestern Avenue was following its usual rhythm, customers coming and going, some rushing in on lunch breaks, others chatting with tellers like they always do. Inside, everything felt familiar. The hum of counting machines, the low murmur of conversations, the occasional ring of a phone. Nothing felt off. As the clock neared 4:30 p.m., staff began prepping for the end of the day. Cash drawers checked, receipts printed. The armored truck pulling into the lot didn't raise a single eyebrow. It was right on time, just like every other week. No one blinked. But outside those glass doors, something was already in motion. A group, armed and waiting, had been tracking that truck's every move. And this was the moment they'd been planning for. What felt like routine inside the bank was outside, the calm before a storm. 3 men emerged, young, probably no older than 22. Dressed in black hoodies, black gloves, and black masks. They moved fast, too fast for anyone to react. There was no shouting to scare people, no time-wasting threats, just brutal efficiency. Security footage would later show it in chilling detail. As the armored guards stepped out, one carrying a heavy canvas bag of cash, the suspects struck. Guns up, commands loud and clear. They weren't nervous, they weren't unsure. They acted like they'd done this before. The guards, stunned and outgunned, had no choice but to drop the bags and hit the ground. Inside the bank, people ducked. A woman screamed. Another froze in place. It felt surreal. 2 minutes stretched like an hour. And when it was over, the suspects were gone along with a large sum of cash and the peace of mind this neighborhood once had. By the time someone inside found the courage to hit the alarm, the suspects were already gone. They moved like they were on a timer, no fumbling, no second guessing. They sprinted toward a waiting vehicle parked just out of view, hopped in, and disappeared into traffic like they'd rehearsed it 100 times. No license plate, no hesitation, not even a screech of tires. It was surgical. Blue Island police were on the scene within minutes, but it didn't matter. The trail had gone cold before they even got there. And that's what sent chills through the investigators, not just the robbery, but how clean it was. No one had fired a shot, but the fear left behind hit harder than bullets. Inside the bank, employees were in shock. Some cried, others couldn't speak. Customers crouched behind desks, too afraid to move. In just under 2 minutes, a neighborhood bank turned into a crime scene, and it didn't feel random. It didn't take long for this to become more than just a local case. Within hours, the FBI was in. The bank's parking lot became a hive of flashing lights, crime scene tape, and quiet urgency. Officers canvassed the area, knocking on doors, reviewing nearby business cameras, hoping for any scrap of a lead. Forensic teams searched for fingerprints, shell casings, footprints, anything. But the suspects had planned well. No bullets, no DNA, no voices captured, just gloves, masks, and speed. But then came the breakthrough. The bank's own security footage. It didn't show everything, but it showed enough. Faces partly covered, but body language sharp. The movements were smooth, coordinated. These weren't junkies looking for a quick score. They were trained, young, focused. That same night, the FBI released enhanced stills to the media. By morning, the suspects' images were everywhere on TV, across social feeds, tacked to bulletin boards at local gas stations. The city was now on alert, but the biggest question still hung in the air. Who were they, and where did they vanish to? This wasn't downtown Chicago. This was Blue Island, a quiet, working-class suburb where kids ride bikes after school, and neighbors wave from porches. The kind of place where the loudest thing you hear is a lawnmower or a passing train. Crime like this, it wasn't supposed to happen here. But after that afternoon, the entire community changed. Parents gripped their children's hands a little tighter walking home. Local business owners started talking about hiring off-duty cops. The bank that once felt like just another building suddenly looked like a threat. At community meetings, fear filled the air. People weren't just shaken, they were furious. How could something like this happen in broad daylight, in front of a bank with no one caught? The sense of safety, the idea that crime like this only happened somewhere else, was gone. Blue Island wasn't just the backdrop of a robbery anymore, it was the symbol of how fragile normal really is. Days passed, then a week, still no arrests, still no names. The FBI tip line lit up with calls, people claiming to have seen the suspects, heard something suspicious, recognized a jacket from the footage. But every lead turned cold. Nothing stuck. Now agents are going deeper, reviewing street cams from miles away, mapping possible escape routes, digging into other robbery cases across the region. Could this have been part of a larger operation? Was the Blue Island hit a one-time strike or one of many from a silent crew moving through the Midwest? They're even rechecking old cases, looking for the same coordination, the same timing, the same calm under pressure. The more they look, the more they suspect this wasn't random. Every hour that passes without a name, the community grows more restless. But the investigators, they're getting angrier, because this crew didn't just steal money, they challenged the system. And nobody walks away clean from that kind of challenge. This isn't an isolated case. In the past 12 months, there's been a spike in organized bank-related heists in the greater Chicago area. From ATM explosions to armored truck hits, same MO, fast, precise, and young suspects. Could there be a ring? A local crew running a coordinated operation? Law enforcement isn't ruling it out. The Blue Island robbery may be a piece of a larger puzzle. And if that's true, then this isn't just about one day, it's about a trend with dangerous momentum. Banks across the city are taking action. Some are doubling security, others are reducing armored cash deliveries. Community leaders are holding meetings, residents are demanding answers, and everywhere people are asking the same thing. If a heavily guarded armored truck can be hit so easily, what chance does the average person have? This wasn't just about money, it was about fear. And restoring trust, that's going to take time. The FBI has one message: help us. If you recognize the suspects from the released footage or heard something, anything that might matter, contact them. You can remain anonymous, but until these men are caught, the city holds its breath, because one violent moment has left an entire neighborhood questioning its safety. And unless justice shows up soon, that fear may spread far beyond Blue Island. Sometimes it only takes 2 minutes to change everything. For Blue Island, that's all it took, a 2-minute robbery that left a community rattled and law enforcement scrambling. And while no lives were lost that day, the scars run deep. Because when chaos shows up in a place that felt safe, people start to look over their shoulders. The suspects are still out there, but so is the truth. And maybe someone watching right now knows something that could help. So if you found this story eye-opening, comment your thoughts, share the video, hit subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon, because we'll be following this story till the end.